How to have the most successful open house. Hi, I'm Paul R. Atkinson, your real estate coach. Today we're going to talk about how to have that most successful open house that's going to get you that sale and get that property sold for you. And not only that, but get you more buyers, more sellers at the same time. Can you imagine that? Yes, it can happen. I'm going to show you a few things that's going to help you to have such an amazing open house that it will be so productive for you in order for you to get 3 to 4 more listings and in order for you to get at least 7 new buyers inside of your system. So you're going to want to take some notes. So the first thing is, number one, when you're setting up to get this successful open house, you want to make that post about the open house. When? How long? About 5 to 7 days before the event. You can't go 3 days before. That's a little bit too late. 10 days before, no. But 5 to 7 days before your open house, it's pretty good to start getting it inside of the feeds and all the systems so people know that, hey, in about 5 or 7 days, I'm going to have my open house event, maybe as low as 4 days out. But I kind of prefer 5 to 7 days, in my opinion. So that's the first thing that you want to consider in having a successful open house. Now, there's more to this. And before I get into this, I want to remind you, thank you for joining our community. And just if this first time seeing this video, remember, hit that subscribe button. And in the description of the video, you're going to have more information on how to have a successful open house. If that's what you want, to get more buyers, more sellers, and you want to get that ability to sell that property, look in the description of this video and click on the link. So, second thing, and just make sure you're writing this down. So number one, we talk about posting about 5 to 7 days before the event. It's important, but you also have to think about what's next. You are going to post, but you also want to create the hype. So when you create that hype, what does that mean in creating the hype? Just like when there is something new coming out and you can't get your hands on it, people are really, really interested, right? So creating the hype means that, hey, we've got a new listing, or you're a seller yourself and you're watching this video. You've got a new listing coming out, or you're a seller selling this, your own property. You create the hype by when you post and tell them, hey, in 5 days or 6 days, 7 days, I'm going to have an open house that date. And you're going to tell them that, hey, look, it's a great open house, and you're going to put some things. I'm going to talk more about that. But creating the hype means that you're letting them know that that's the only time that you can get a first viewing. Creating that hype. People call you, oh, I have a great buyer, I'm ready to, can I see it now? I'm sorry, the first showing is going to be on that date 4 or 5 days out, or 5 to 7 days out. You want to set it up that you're creating a hype. They can't see it until then because you're getting things ready. This is something hitting the market, right? Interesting, isn't it? So you got to create that hype. Another thing that you have to do is you want to create the benefit. So what's the benefit of someone coming to the open house? In that marketing, you're going to create that hype. You're going to set that date out there. You're going to create that hype, and you're going to tell them benefit. When you come to this open house, I'm going to have a lender there that's going to give free pre-approvals. Or they're going to introduce their new 0 down payment program, or their new 5%, or their new programs, lending programs that's going to benefit you as a buyer. Show them the benefit of coming. You can also provide a benefit of, hey, come on out to the open house, get a look on something that has a brand new updated kitchen. What's the benefit? Why should they come to your open house versus going to someone else's? Give them some benefit of coming. What are some of the main features about that home that they must see? Oh, come and see this brand new open plan, or this view of a magnificent pool, or the highlight of the home. What's the most highlighted part of that property? Pick up on it and then give it as a benefit. So you want to create that benefit. Next thing you want to do is to get that property ready for that open house. So how do you get a property ready for open house? Well, you get the seller on board, making sure that they've decluttered, they've taken out items that are of value. We don't want anything missing or stolen. We don't want any personal items damaged or just removed from the property. So ask them to take these things of value out and just put them in a safe place. If it needs staging, then you definitely should do the staging. So those are some of the things that you must do. And there's more, all right, in getting a successful open house. After you've done all of that, now you go into a phase where the seller is cooperating and you're working as a team, partnering up and getting the property ready. And the next step is for you to strategically place the signs out, because here comes the event. So you're going to place the signs strategically. Wherever there's a main road that there's traffic, that's your first sign going out. Remember, you're pulling traffic to the property. So you've got to strategically think about, what are the main arteries of this property? Where are the main roads? Where's there millions of cars driving by? Get that sign out there. In some cities, they don't allow it, but whatever it is, hopefully you're in a city that supports that. But you get that sign out there and you point it into, and then you start to point the rest of the signs and drive in the traffic straight around the block into your listing. And right there at the front of the listing, you have an open house sign that says, come on in. It's great to have some balloons. Make sure you go to a balloon store that let them know that it's going to be out in the sun, or it might be in a heated place or a cold place, whatever you're doing, and you need something that can last. You don't want it to be after about an hour. So plan for these things and set your signs up to drive the traffic into the property. Now, the next thing that you're going to do once you've got the people coming in, you've got the traffic coming in to the open house, you're going to meet and greet. And how do you meet and greet these people? You want to meet them with enthusiasm. You want to meet them looking very professional. You want to meet them whatever culture or whatever style you're in. I mean, you could be in Hawaii right now, and for you guys down there, it's really relaxed. Or you could be in Bermuda or wherever. Hey, look professional in your own way. You could be in Miami. You could be New York. Wherever you are, look professional and just kind of fit into your culture and your marketplace. And so make sure when you're meeting and greeting, they can feel comfortable with you. Their perception of you is one that would lead them to do business with you. Perception becomes one's own reality. So when you meet and greet, you have to make sure that you're on point and you are looking sharp and you are making that exchange inside of the connection point between you and the prospect in a 60, not even 60, in the first 15 seconds. By the time they look in your eyes and they look at your face and they see the smile and your confident chin up and your handshake or whatever it is that you do, they feel so good and they know they can trust you, because in exchange, you want their name, phone number, and email. Yep. You need that. You need to be able to follow up with them. So that's the next part of this. After you meet and greet, then you want to connect with them and get them registered, because you could let them know, and it's true, the sellers like to know who are coming in their home, and they ask that everyone is registered. Please provide your email, name, and phone number, and we'd like to follow up with you to get some feedback. If I'm not able to get a feedback from you right away because I'm busy, I'd like to give you a call a little bit later and get some feedback. So set the tone, and it's a fair statement in exchange for giving a tour. So you gather that information, you drop it inside of your CRM if you have time, but it's always fastest to just write it down. But if you have a iPad or a device and you could log into your CRM, you've got the Wi-Fi, you've got everything, and you just get them to put that name, email, for basic name, email, phone number. Not if you want to ask more questions, that's fine. Are they looking to buy? Are they looking to sell? It's up to you. Most important, you need to get their information and most important, you need to have that connection in 15 seconds. Meet and greet. Body language, eye contact, shaking hands, whatever it is, mirror technique, association technique. It's all there in the description of the video. My course that helps you to learn more about the 5 steps of the sale and how to overcome this in that 15-second block to get somebody to believe in you and trust you is there in the description. So let's continue on to this, right? So once we've meet and greet, now we're going to give them the tour. When you're given the tour in the open house, you want to make sure that you're leading them in like a circular way, so to speak. So for example, let's say you walk in to the main house and you walk in and there's a living room and then you have some bedroom on that side, bedroom on that side. Try to go in a circular way. People tend to kind of flow when you can't go all over. Have a path, okay? And show them the way around in a circular motion. So you go to this side and you've shown the bedrooms or whatever is on this side, and you come back to where you were and you move on down to that part, the pool or what have you, but don't go outside until you finish the inside. And you come around and you try to end up in the kitchen. Don't go straight to the kitchen. Try to end up in the kitchen, because the kitchen is one of the #1 things that a woman would buy. And she has the authority, I bet you on that. So you'll have a couple, you know, a man and a woman, and I tell you what, it's going to be the kitchen that's going to be the seller. So you want to end up there first, because last, excuse me. Let me repeat that. You want to end up there last. Not first, last. Okay? Go in a circle from the right to the left, and then you come around and you show everything, and then just try to land in the kitchen last, and then you're going to kind of hover in the kitchen in the tour, so they can dwell in the kitchen for a little while and get a feel on it, because that's typically where a family congregate. That's typically where a family, you know, that's where they eat their meal. That's where they spend their time and just family time. So it's very important that you kind of land right there. So these are some of the most important things that you can do. And you know, there's 2 final steps that I want to tell you after you've done the tour. Here are the 2 main things that you need to do. The final things that you need to do, and it's very, very critical, is after you finish the tour and you're on to doing another one, because there's many people coming in, you've got to finish up and make sure that you have a follow-up system. You've got to follow up with these people that came in within the hour after you're finished. I mean, it's not too soon, guys. You finish this thing, you get right on that phone, because opportunity is opportunity. But no less than 12 hours. No, don't. You go to sleep and you wake up, first thing, follow up. You've got to follow up within the first hour, the first 12 hours. Definitely no more than 24 hours. That's kind of like first hour after you're done. If it's still daylight, it's not too late, and you feel the strength, make that phone call and just get the feedback. Hi. How does that sound? How does the feedback sound? Ring, 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 ring. Hi, John and Mary. Thank you so much for coming to my open house today. Just want to thank you. Is this a good time to talk? Yes. Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you for coming out. And I just wanted to say that I really appreciate you coming out and sharing your information with us. What would you say is your feedback on your view of the home today? It's a good way to start. Get them to talk about it. They're going to start to like you, and you're not going to see them push it. And then after you figured out what their thoughts are about that property, and you could discover more about where they wanted to go or where they want to go to make an offer on that property. So you have to follow up. Finally, the last thing is, inside of your CRM, where you've put their name and phone number and email, you have to have them on a automated system. Whatever the disposition is that you've discovered when you followed up, you have to act accordingly. And you've got to make sure, if they said, well, we're just looking and we're not sure if we want to sell our home yet and buy something. Number one, they're a seller, so put them in the seller group. And they're also curious about buying, so they're a seller/buyer. And you've learned that they're interested in selling, so you can give them a kind of a news feed on that area that they're looking to sell in. And you can also put them in a group that's going to give them a buyer feed on the area that they want to buy. Interesting. So they're getting relevant information from you. They're getting information on learning what's going on in their marketplace so they can sell their home. Plus, at the same time, you're educating them on what's out there on where they want to buy. Isn't that interesting? And you put that all on automation in the CRM. Down in the description of this video, connect with me. I will show you how to automate your entire business, that it will flow and bring you more leads, more buyers, more sellers in an instant. You will have a funnel. You will have a system that just brings the buyers and the sellers to you. You're closing more deals, more than you have ever done before. And that is possible. It's happening. The top realtors are doing it. And I know how to show you how to do that and share that with you at my pleasure. So it's been a pleasure to be with you on this one and how to do a successful open house. You have any questions, please reach out to me. Just send me a comment, connect with me, and also click on the links below. If you have not already, subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay connected. What do I always say? It's amazing, guys. I'll see you real soon, and let's go get 'em, Tiger. See you soon.